Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mike. I want to talk to you guys about this Porsche 911 rally build. A lot of people have expressed interest in the build itself, and I think it's cool to follow along with builds. This build in particular isn't a Fieldcraft Mobility or Fieldcraft Survival project. It's my personal project. It's kind of like my side hustle. It's something that I enjoy to do. I used to do rally race stuff. I used to do the SECA stuff. I used to also do Team O'Neill's. Like I've been there a few times as a contractor and was just really into it. One, if you want to get into rally, you don't have to have an expensive car. You could use any vehicle actually. And with a couple modifications to your vehicle, you could make it a rally car that you could use in SCCA or that you could use as a weekend, get off road, bug out kind of rig. The intention for this build is kind of simultaneously both those. One, Porsche 911 is my favorite car. This is my favorite car, hands down. The 911, as this sits, is completely my dream car. My dream car is not a $100,000 car. This is a $30,000 car. They used to be more affordable, but they've gone up in value. There's a couple different versions, the Targa version and the Coupe. The Targa version difference has it's not a T-top because there's no T, that's removed. It's actually a hard top that comes off. This component here allows you to have a reinforced protection in the event of a rollover. And then it has obviously the glass in the back shell, but everything else remains the same. This is exactly like the 911 SC Coupe. So 3.0 liter flat six in the back end of this. It's got the crappy transmission. They made the crappy transmission up until 87 to 89, where they replaced it with the G50, which was a more efficient transmission. That's the weakest point. Up here, obviously the fuel tank is in the hood and the engine's in the rear. Remember, this is an air-cooled Porsche 911, meaning there isn't a radiator, there isn't a cooling system, which reduces a lot of weight and efficiency. If you look at the 911 SC, which stands for Super Carrera version of this car, these are the most reliable sports cars, I think, in the world. I mean, if you're looking at naturally aspirated, reliable sports cars, this is it. And that, for me, is the perfect platform for a rally car, or a rally conversion in this case. A lot of guys call it's synonymous with rally / safari versions. And so let me tell you what I'm doing to this vehicle really soon. I've already ordered the parts. The first thing is when you come up front, this is a great hood. This Porsche 911 is a great example of all the things you want in a Porsche. It's a couple owners. It's 62,000 original miles, original paint, never been in an accident, super pristine, always garage kept, which it will be, continue to be garage kept, except I will be bogging this thing off road. That's the vision here. So the first thing that I want to do is get quad lights. I used, I believe, TRE Motorsports. I got their quad light pack, which basically bolts onto the front hood. I'm going to pull this hood and use a crappy hood because I want to retain this nice example of a 911 hood, and use a crappy hood to drill into, and then I'm going to wrap it in black multicam. Lighting is obviously important in any condition off-road. What I'm going to try to do is take those individual light pods and replace them with KC Highlights lights, because those are my favorite lights for off-road anything. And so that's going to be a shroud, and that's going to be this in black multicam. Let's talk about suspension. Suspension, you don't have to have suspension in a rally car. This particular vehicle, a lot of people take stock suspension from a 911 because it's sports suspension and they just put bigger tires on it. But in order to put really larger tires on it with a 15, 16-inch wheel, which is what I want to do, I'm going to put rally race wheels as well as Falcon MTs, or I actually have to consult with them because I don't know if they make a rally specific tire, but I'm going to try to get a rally specific tire on here, but a large tire, which means I have to raise the suspension. I didn't go cheap on suspension. I actually went really expensive. There's a company called Elephant Racing. They make professional race car suspension for rally cars. In fact, they have 4 different stages that break down in capability, also in price. And I got the one that allows you to do a 3 to 4 inch lift and allows you to tuck a nice large MT / all-terrain style tire. A lot of people go with BF Goodwrench. I like Falcon, so I'm gonna go with Falcon in this case. That's gonna raise it up. Also give it really good suspension for off-road, capable driving. As you move off to the rear, this rear deck, which is the hood in this case where the engine is, obviously this is the trunk, but this is where the 3-liter flat 6 lies. Not a lot of horsepower, 0 to 60 rated in the manual is about 7 seconds. That's conservative from Porsche. Most people, it's about 6.5 seconds, with the limiting factor being the transmission. It's very finicky, the transmission. But in this case, I'm gonna get the whale tail, which is the rally version, which is the short one, not the actual whale tail that comes as an option from Porsche. The reason I'm doing that is, one, aesthetically it looks badass, right? I'm gonna have this in black multicam wrapped as well, but that wing is gonna allow me to have some downforce on the rear end. These Porsche 911s are super aerodynamic, and air flows over them really well. Being a light vehicle, being rear-wheel drive, I want that downforce, especially where I'm braking intentionally the rear end to get the advantage in rally driving. For example, a pendulum turn where I'm braking the rear end to allow it to swing around a tight corner is something that, downforce would help me in my approach leading into that turn. And that wing will be aesthetic, but have a lot of utility as well. So far, that's it. That's all the things that I ordered. Things that I want for the future. I want to put a rack system here. I want to put a rear bumper. I want to put a front bumper. That rack system, I want to be able to tie in extra fuel, maybe my spare tire. I even want to use a solar panel on top when I'm just mobbing out, so I could use my electronic devices and charge them on the go. So the overall intent of this is to have fun, number one, but also show you guys what a rally build looks like, and then tie it into Fieldcraft Survival. I don't tell anybody this, but I got an MP5 on order from HK, and I'm gonna mount that somewhere in the back of the vehicle, as well as my mobility pack, black multicam mobility pack, which is my go bag because I could bug out with it, but I could also mount it on the back of these seats for survival, med, and all the contingencies. But I'm also gonna find a place to mount my German MP5 as well as my German P7, because all that stuff is nostalgic to me. I appreciate the engineering, I appreciate the utility in it, and it's not affordable for everybody, but in this model of the things I'm breaking down for this vehicle, it's gonna be super fun to follow, and I hope you guys follow me in the near future, guys. Fieldcraftsurvival.com. You guys can check me on my personal YouTube page, Mike Glover. In fact, this might be posted on that page as well, and IGTV. I appreciate you following along because this is fun stuff that we live for here at Fieldcraft Survival, and I do it as an individual. I look forward to the next time.